Okay, in this video we'll show several examples of stolen and recovered Lexus vehicles, usually 2016 up to 2022 Lexus RX350 or 450h. Mostly damage happens on the front of the vehicle, and inside the panel, plastic panel is damaged on the console on the passenger side. We had to remove the panel, and underneath there is a telematics computer where the cables were cut. Most of the time they disconnect those wires to prevent communication via 3G network or satellite communication about the vehicle, stolen vehicle. In this case, all the cables were cut. And this is the telematics transceiver. On this transceiver, all the connectors were cut. The dashboard shows all the lights, and this is the data connector cut. We soldered all the connections, and this is how we removed a shield from the cables to prepare for soldering. This is the first wire group. As you can see, you have to be very delicate about removing those wires, because you can cut them and it requires extra work after that. So each wire has to be exposed, prepared, and all the end has to be tinned before it's soldered. The good thing is that all the cables are color coded, so there is no issue with recognizing cables on both sides of the connector. So as you can see now, each cable has to be tinned. The problem is that on the vehicle, all these cables are close to the frame, so it's harder to access them, and there's not much space. A shield from the second connector wire group. This connector has probably about 25 single wires and another 2 wire groups which are shielded. In one of them it's 4 wires and the other one has 2 wires and the grounding wire. We have to put the shrink tubings. They have to be short enough so they will cover the soldered area, and also far from the joint point, so they will not get shrinked with the temperature of the junction. It's a long process. There's about 30 cables, 30 wires together. After a few wires are finished, we put the shrink tubes across junctions, and we use the heat to shrink them, so they will stay in place and prevent moisture. There you go. This is how nice it looks. 4 red wires. So this is the process of shrinking. And as you can see, we process more wires one by one, and we check the connections and we shrink, and the main connector was done. After that, we had to finish the coax cable connectors, which were cut as well. So the wires were exposed, the center wire and the grounding wire, and they were isolated separately and then shrink tube. As you can see, the computer showed some errors. We also had cut the XM antenna wire and an IG1 and IG2 relay failure, which resulted in the bad fuse, which was fixed. And here the computer got cleared and ready to go.